that's it. Okay, so I made one for you guys in advance. It's called Telling Time, and I want to show you guys it before we recreate it together. So forms can also be used as a learning module or to support your content and not just for a quiz. Yes, it's collecting points, but we can also make this an activity too. So as you guys can see, I have a little squiggly line right here, and it lets me know that I have some extra features started within this form, and I'll go into detail with that later. But I have my image is here, so my students were getting a quiz on analog versus digital clocks, and so I added a clock, and that's the wrong answer, but that's setting it up. There's the answer choices there, and then we have a video embedded for them, and then they also have question choices. Now, this particular form has branching, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So branching means that if they get this answer wrong, then they'll be taken here to this remediation area that I set up. I made this. You don't have to make this, but I just thought this would be something cool for you guys to use in Microsoft Forms. And it would make them come through and watch the video on what was the analog versus the digital clock, and then they can go back and review that question previously, or at least they have that knowledge now that they reviewed it after they got it wrong. So I'm going to preview this for you. And I went to the eye. So this is how it will look for the students. And I want you guys to see the really cool feature of Immersive Reader. So right here, by any text, there is a little book. Okay, so when I get down by the question, it's the book, and it will read the question and the answer choices. When I get down to the next question, it will do that as well. So I'm going to hit this, and it opens it up in a new window, and I can hit play.
Telling time. Select the best answer choice.
And it read my directions along with the title. And the best thing about Immersive Reader, if you guys don't know, right here on this little book icon here, you can change your language. So if you wanted to speak in Dutch, you can select to change it by the document, and it changes the whole thing right there for you. And now your student, who may be an ESL student, can have that accommodation.
Selecteer de beste antwoordgoed.
Okay, they could always go back between the original and the Dutch to switch back and forth right there. And this is also a good, helpful tool for the parents to have also who have those students and they are, not native of English and they are helping their students. This would be a good way to assist them through all of that. Okay, so that was the immersive feature that's embedded between each title and question. Okay, so let's see what happens when we do a question and answer choices with Immersive Reader.
1. What type of clock is this? 2 points. Analog. Digital. End of question. Close the reader to input your answer.
Okay, and then the student would do just that. They will go there and they will be taken to the question. And I'm going to get it wrong. Even though that's the right answer, I know that I marked it wrong on the other one. Being that I marked it wrong, I have to set up to start that YouTube video, right? But if I go back here and select digital, notice that that question goes away and I can hit submit. But they don't know that you have to set it up that way. But we know as a teacher, if they select the wrong answer, they now have the chance to go to this review video and play it. It doesn't open up on a new screen. It's right here. Okay, it's right there within your form. And then once again, there's the book for you to open the Immersive Reader. And then the students can then answer the question and submit their form. Okay, so, and that was it. So let me go back and show you guys how I created some of these things. And notice that I have the responses there too, but I'll show you guys that in just a second. So let me go back to my forms. Any questions about the immersive reader or why I would want to use a video in there for remediation or the branching for them to move to a certain answer? Do you think this is something that you guys are using in your discipline?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I was getting worried there. So right here, you can do a drop down and you can do a new form or you can do a quiz. I made a quiz. I'm just going to do new quiz. And the difference between a quiz and a form is that a quiz you can add points. A form that's good for when you do surveys and things of that nature. Right here, you can choose the theme of your form when you're creating it. I had some nice study backgrounds. Ooh, these are nice. I didn't see these before. So I guess they're always upgrading the forms. But you can add anyone that you like. And it goes there. Okay. So I have my theme and I can hit hide to remove that back. I can also come right here and select any solid backgrounds. I have the clouds right here, but if you want to see more, if that's hidden from you when you first come on, you can just hit show and you have some fancy ones in the background that you can choose from. Okay, so as you're building this, all right, and I just to remove that, I just hit theme, and to take that away, I just hit theme again. All right. So to start building your questions, you can come right here to hit add new. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change the title. I'm so sorry. Let's change the title. We're going to say telling time. Right here in that title, you can also add an image like I did before by clicking on that image. And when you click on that, it takes you directly to a Bing image search, not a Google image search, but a Bing. And I'm going to do a clock. And notice that it gives you all of these options to add within your question. Once you select it, you can hit the little check mark appears on the right, and then you hit add. So now my students will see this nice clock with the description, so I can say directions, answer the questions given. Okay, now I can hit add new to add a question, and notice that it gives you choices. You can do open text responses. When you do open text responses, note that you will have to grade them. It cannot be automatically graded like a multiple choice. You can add ratings. Dates is really good when you're doing scheduling or surveys to see when parents may want to meet with you for IEP meetings. You can use that as well, and they can schedule their time with you there. And then you also have some things where you can allow the students to upload a file for submission. And then you can also do some other things here. But let's go back to the multiple choice that we were on before. And I want to say, what type of clock is this? Okay. And then I'm just going to come right here, and we already added an image before. But when you come to a question, note that you can add an image or a video. So in our first question, I had an image, and I wanted to know, let's do this one this time. Let's do a digital clock and say, which type of clock is this? Okay, my option one can be digital, and then my option two can be analog. Okay, a little bit of things appear when you guys are working on the multiple choice in the form. This little dots over here, those 6 dots, let you know that you can drag your answer choice. Okay, alongside of your answer choice, you can delete them, and you can also come right here and display a message to respondents who didn't get that right. So if you don't want to do the branching like I did before and have to go to a review video, you can still give feedback right here. So you can say, great job. Okay, and if it's the wrong answer, then you can come right here and say, review such, 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 or think again. Maybe not say think again. That won't be probably the next nice thing to say. But whatever you want to do for your feedback, you can put that right there. And then you'll select your correct answer by selecting the checkbox right here, and it'll let you know that's the correct answer. Then down here, it lets you choose if you want to cut this on for multiple answers. I'm not for the most. I've never used multiple answers or multiple choice with quizzes and points. So if you want to give points, you'll click right there, right beside it, and give it a point value. And then you can also make it required. Now I do use required, so they cannot skip that question or submit the form until they answer that question. So with that, I have a little fallen snowman right here. That's what I call it. The little three dots. It lets me say I can shuffle the options maybe for each time someone takes the quiz and they're sitting in close proximity, which won't be for a very long time with COVID. But let's say they're near each other and they could talk and say, which one did you pick? They could say, oh, the first one. The first one won't be the same for them as the other student. You can shuffle those options. You can also change your multiple choice to a drop down instead. You can also do for math. You can make it with the math numbers and things of that nature. But what I want to do is add branching. Okay? So when I add branching, this opens up beside my answer choice. And it says, if they choose this, where are they going to go to next? I'm going to let them in the form because they got it right. Good job. Huzzah. Right? But if they got it wrong, I want them to go to the next question. Okay? And then once you're done, let's see what this says. Oh, you can reset it if you don't like it as well. If you're done, you go right back to the back, and it lets you know that little squiggly icon that you have some branching there, telling you that if they get an answer wrong, they'll be able to go to another section. Now, this is just some extra features that's in forms that I want to share with you guys. You do not have to use branching. You just come right here and create your questions per usual, just like you would do in forms, and add feedback and call it a day. It will be just as fine. But if you would like to throw in that remediation tool, please do so. So I'm going to come right here to add new. And I want this to be a multiple choice test too, for a question. And this time I'm going to say, what are the different types of, what are the ways we can tell time? All right, so this time, instead of adding an image, I'm going to add a video. And when you do video, I can add a link right here. So I can go and open up a new tab, go to YouTube, which I do like about us having to go to YouTube instead of just having it enter there, because when you get to go to YouTube, you can go ahead and review the video in total, and you can see if it's watchable by SCCPSS. And if it's not watchable by SCCPSS, you can always recommend for it to be watchable for SCCPSS, so that students can have access to this outside of the link that you share with them as well. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to type in here analog versus digital. Oh, I can't type today. Okay, and I'm just going to grab a video, but of course you guys will find a video, review it in total before you ever assign it to students, just to cover yourself. All right, so I'm going to copy that link, and I'm going to make my way back to forms. And then right here in this URL code, I can paste it, but notice that it's letting you do Microsoft Stream videos here and YouTube. So just like how I'm doing a Microsoft Stream video with you guys, I'm recording this. If you want to do a screencast for your students and show them how to do an assignment, you can record yourself on Microsoft Stream and then add that video link right here. And then the students can go back and review your lesson and then answer the questions accordingly. So you can really use forms for a lot of things. So I'm going to add that in there. Okay, now that is right here, and now I'm going to just redo what I did before. I'm going to say all of the above at the bottom so you guys can see how you can really move it around and digital. Okay, yes, you can definitely read a book. Record yourself reading a book on Microsoft Stream. Have the video facing you. Read your book. And then add it right here to the stream. And do you guys know how to access Microsoft Stream? Just how we went to that Office 365, it was an icon on the left hand side where Microsoft Stream is, and it's like maybe like a burgundy pinkish arrow, and that's Microsoft Stream, and you'll see all of your recorded Teams meetings there. So Microsoft Stream is a really good tool to do some screencasting on as well. All right, so this is required, and this is the right answer, all of the above. And then that's it. I don't want my students to do anything else. If you didn't get it right the first time, here's your chance to get it right again. You're welcome. To get it right again and watch the video. Okay. Now, as you're building this and you want to see what the students are seeing and you want to make sure that you're getting it right, you can always come right here to preview and go through it as I did with you guys before through the preview mode. And let's say that you automatically don't see this Immersive Reader tool there, even though it should pop up automatically. You can come right here to another Fallen Snowman, and you can enable Immersive Reader. But being that mine is shown, it's saying disable. And so when it's disabled, you don't see that book icon. But if you want to enable it, you can click right here and enable that Immersive Reader feature, and now it's back on there. Okay, so if you're happy, oh, one second, I want to show you guys something cool. You can also see it how your students are taking it on a phone as well. So if you know some students are using different devices beyond a computer, you can see how they will view your questions and images as well from the mobile view. All right, when you're ready to share, you'll come right here and hit share. And then you can copy this link and paste it into It's Learning. Copy the link, add it to a meeting chat. You can make a QR code and have them scan it and answer it. You can also get an embed code here and maybe embed that into a page in It's Learning in a rich content block, or maybe as a task or a note in It's Learning. The possibilities are really endless with this. But I do want to show you guys the responses real quickly because right now I don't have any responses. So I'm going to go back to my original telling time where I have 3 responses, all from myself. So I have these telling time, and it let me know that 1 student got it right and 2 got it wrong. 1 of the 3 students answered it correctly. It's telling me how many people went through here, and that the students who did get it wrong and did go through the remediation video, they did get the question correct. Yes, you can put the form on Google Classroom, but because It's Learning is kind of being mandated by the district, I'm only, advertising for It's Learning for you guys to get that together. Because once Parent Portal starts opening up and running, and you guys go through the Safe School process and take that video, watch the video for Parent Portal, and go through that training, they're going to really expect that you guys use It's Learning. But in the meantime, do what you got to do. Okay, whatever has been working in your classroom. Okay, you can have the option to give the students their scores, and you can also review the answers. So maybe you want to do a screen, or you want to just look at yourself, and you can see each student, even though it's all Whitney Joneses. You can come right here and see what each student did. Right here, you can give feedback to the student and say, try again. Maybe we can send this to you next time. Good try, whatever you want to say. Right here, you can do feedback overall. You can do a feedback for each question. It's really cool. It lets you do a lot more than with Google Forms. Okay. Now, with those responses, you can also open it in an Excel sheet, just like with Google Forms. You can have a cumulative list of what each student said and what each answer was. But as I said to you guys before, I'm not really sure if you guys have embedded anything. So if you were interested in embedding it into your It's Learning, I'm going to go ahead and share it. And instead of getting it a regular link code, I'm going to go right here to like the Pac-Man symbols kind of thing, and I'm going to embed it. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to make my way to It's Learning. Let's see if I have an It's Learning open in one of my many, many tabs. Let's go over here. Don't judge. This is my brain over here working hard. Okay, so I don't have any It's Learning tabs. So I'm just going to open right here and go to It's Learning. And I'll show you guys real quickly how you can embed that into a page or a note. So real quick, does anyone use Pages or do you guys use notes for your students, or are you using Google Classroom?
We've been using Google Classroom and It's Learning.
Okay, you are in It's Learning and you are making a page. Do you guys use Pages or are you just using the plans?
Yes, we use Pages.
Okay, awesome. All right. So right here is a pre-K page that I made that is embedded with all kind of tools for the students to look at. For you to embed this as well, you can add content block, go to rich content, and you can say telling time quiz. And then right here where it says source is where I will click and add that embed code. All right, and it's right there. And I'm going to hit OK. And now the students don't have to leave It's Learning to take that quiz. It's right here for them. And they can still activate the Immersive Reader within It's Learning. They can come right here and let me get it wrong. Oh, let me submit another response. Let me get it wrong. There we go. And you can still watch the video within It's Learning as well. And they can make it larger if they need to with the square. Okay? So any questions about creating a form, sharing a form, or either adding the form to It's Learning?
I don't have any questions, Whitney. I don't see anybody's hand up or anything in the chat box.
Okay. Well, let me display my information for you guys just in case you may have some questions later. I do offer individual training, so if you do want to use forms and you don't feel quite comfortable with it yet, give me a call or text me, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys with that.